This girl right here. Now, I know. What are we looking at? I know. Sorry, guys. Truth is gonna come out. So if you a little bit on the heavier side and you not into people calling you on your shit, click off the video, my guy, because this is not for you. This is for the other people. So Jake Shields. A lot of people like, who the fuck is Jake Shields? Well, he's a professional MMA UFC fighter. He's the guy who said that he will fight 10 trans men in a row to prove a point that they should not be fighting with the big dogs, aka the men. Okay? He's been going crazy on Twitter. I'll say that much. I mean, shit. He has been going bananas on Twitter. And he said this to this picture right here. So the self-proclaimed baddie cries in an Uber because she's a 10, but men at the club don't think so. So take a good look at this girl right here. Yep. She said that she's a fucking 10. And to be exact, she said a fat fucking 10. I'll go ahead and play that video right now. But Jake Shields had said this to this picture right here. He said if she had friends and family who actually cared about her, they would tell her she's morbidly obese. Instead, they likely tell her big is beautiful and she's fine the way she is. We are hurting people by not being honest with them, and I 100% agree with him. However, here is the video that she first went viral for. This video was part of the Whatever podcast. Shout out to the Whatever podcast. They're actually pretty fire. She was on that podcast, and she said this.
Ask everyone to rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10. So let's do that.
A fat fucking 10.
A fat fucking 10?
I'm just saying what everybody in the comments is going to say. Be like, oh yeah, she's a fat fucking 10. Like, period.
Is there a comma somewhere in that statement?
Honestly, I don't know.
What was said was said.
Okay. Ask everyone to rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10. So let's do that.
A fat fucking 10.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, but the delusion, it's beyond me, guys. The delusion is beyond me. Look, if we're going to sit here and say that we're all 10s, bro, then everybody's going to say they're a fucking 10, bro. Every single girl in that panel right there said that they were a 10 also, guys. It's pretty crazy. You know that's some shit. Look, man, I fully agree with what Jake Shields is saying, because if we continue to let obese people be obese and we just say big is beautiful and there's nothing wrong with that, then they're just gonna die. Easily put. Look, man, if someone has a drinking problem, you don't go up to them with a shot glass and say, hey, it's okay. No. If they're a fucking recovering alcoholic, you give them a bottle of water and say, hey, it's going to be all right, you're going to get through it, and you're going to try to keep them away from alcohol before they ruin their fucking lives, right? Right? It's called being an enabler, okay? That's what it is. That's the proper terminology for all the people who want to know the proper terminology. They're all enablers, saying big is beautiful, saying you're perfectly fine the way you are, saying you're beautiful, just like that. And then she even went as far as saying that there's guys who have fetishes of this. Yes, there probably are some sick fucks in the world who find that great in its own form and in its own way. There's probably. Okay, but what there for sure isn't, there's not a lot of guys coming at your doorstep trying to beg you to go on a date with them, okay? What I'm getting at right here is all the people around her are too busy enabling her instead of trying to lead her down a good path, okay? If there's an alcoholic in the room, you're not going to go in there with a bottle of Jack Daniels and not expect them to jump at it, okay? That's called being a fucking dickhead if you did that, right? And then people are going to look at you like, why the fuck did you do that? Well, why the fuck are we lying to her? Why the fuck are we telling her the big is beautiful? Well, we all know it's not. I'm just where I'm at. Another thing. I find this with the women. I find this problem with women. And look, I'm not going on no hyper masculine tirade. So before you think I'm coming on some Andrew Tate shit, I'm not. But I don't know what it is, but women love to lie to other women. Even women that they don't like. Okay? We've seen this happen as early as Mean Girls chick flick days, okay? Where girls will not like other girls, but they will compliment them and smile in each other's faces as if everything is okay. And then when they leave, they'll be like, I fucking hate that bitch, okay? We were all in high school at one point. Best believe it still happens till this day, okay? However, with guys, they don't do that. Guys who don't like each other, they just don't talk. Or they'll press the issue, or whatever the case is. Guys who fuck with each other so goddamn tough and so hard, they will actually shit talk each other. They will talk each other down. But they still boys. They will tell each other how it is. First thing I say to all of my boys, whenever we're about to go into a topic that is treacherous waters, I always say this: check me if I'm tripping. Tell me if I'm wrong, because I need to be told. Otherwise, I'll just keep going and going. That's the difference between men and women. Women love to compliment each other and shower each other with lies, whereas guys, they love to tell them how it is. They tell you how it is, and that's what it is gonna be. From the outside looking in, my opinion, right? Whoever feels differently, fuck it, feel different. What I'm saying is, notice how the men in that clip told this woman, yo, you crazy, basically they said that, right? Whereas they didn't show it, but in the clip, all the women were like, yes, bitch, yeah. Bro, get the fuck out of here. Point is, this bitch is morbidly obese and she needs to figure that shit out. And she's a self-proclaimed baddie crying in the Uber because no one wants her. Now look, if she was a self-proclaimed baddie and she stood on it and she genuinely loved her body and she was not crying in the Uber because nobody wanted her, she was just like, okay, well, none of them are good enough, then that's different. But what the problem is here is that she broke down in the car and started to cry because she's not comfortable with who she is. She's a hypocrite. She's lying to herself, telling herself that she's a 10 when she knows that she's not. I could go in on this all day. I could keep tearing this bitch apart limb for limb, bar for bar, pound for pound, but I'm not. We got a lot of other topics, man, and we've already been streaming for just about an hour now. So let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it going. God, I could have tore that bitch apart more and more. Yo, Gunna's dropping, guys. How y'all feel about that?